Good morning, traders, and welcome to My Funded Futures. My name is Edona, and I am your hostess. This show is created not to only entertain and engage you, but to also make you a better trader. I myself am not an expert trader, but I will be the voice for the chat. We'll be talking ideas, we'll be talking setups, and whatever it takes to make you a better trader. Welcome, everyone. So happy you're here. Today is, I believe, day 7, since this is our second week, and we're so excited to be here. We're going to go right on and invite Luke in and have him talk to us about the US market and how that's doing today.
All right.
Hi,
all
Luke.
right. Thank you
Welcome.
for the welcome. Yes, your reset person is back, chat. But before that, we had a little bit of action in the London market. Nothing especially interesting on our major indices in the US today. We had a couple of decent earnings yesterday that we previewed. We had a couple of decent earnings coming out after the close today. Next week, though, will be the much more interesting week for earnings. So stay tuned. We'll be talking about them all. And just to give you a little bit of a preview of what we have in the show, as Adona said, we do whatever it takes to make you a better trader. So we're going to be diving into key levels on ES, key levels on NQ. Our expert traders are going to give their thoughts on how the market is poised and where we stand. We are going to have an educational segment and my very favorite piece of every single day, the most interesting chart of the day. Yes, every single day we work hard to deliver you the most interesting chart of the day. How's that sound for today, Adona?
That sounds amazing. Great. So I guess we'll go ahead and invite Bull Barbie in and first night. Hi, good morning, guys.
Let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
We're doing great. Well, I am. I'll speak
You
for
are?
Forrest too, I guess.
I'm also
Forrest,
doing
how are
good.
you doing?
Woke up today, I was
You're
breathing,
hiding a little bit today.
but I got everything I need. I'm fantastic.
Amazing. Okay, so I guess we'll start today with what's your mindset for the day? What are you looking forward to? What are you holding back on? How are you feeling this morning?
Mindset, I'm just trying to get after it. But no, so today, again, I'm a broken record every single day. Start on the higher time frames. I want to see, we're still inside of these two major nodes on the VP that I've been watching. We actually rejected, again, on the weekly, like that top node. So I kind of want to see where we settle. It's Thursday, right? We've only got 48 more hours of RTH left in the chamber. So I want to see if today is going to be a mover, right? With Fridays tend to not be, such big moves typically, right? Broadly speaking. So I want to see if today's a mover or not, or if we're just going to have like a pin here at the end of the week. So it's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, nothing really crazy right now. Obviously, the market's not open yet, but those are my thoughts.
No, that makes sense. Okay, well, thank you for sharing for us. Bull Barbie, how are you feeling today, mindset-wise? How do you get prepared for the day?
Well, every day, since my house is kind of crazy in the mornings, it's all about calming and centering so that I can focus and not do anything, not make bad decisions, not do anything I shouldn't do, that sort of thing. So just making sure that I'm calm and in the right mental space. So
I know we talked about grounding here before, so that makes sense. Okay, well, I guess we'll take it to the most interesting chart of the day. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Barbie, and you tell us what you're looking at today.
Well, this is one that I just wanted to kind of bring to everyone's attention, and that is the SLV. This is the Silver Shares Trust. So this is an ETF that I like to use, and I would suggest to some other people who would be looking for some exposure into precious metals. I know gold's been kind of the talk of the town. It's made a lot of moves. It's keeps going for all-time highs and then kind of having these retracements. And if you want to play something that is not quite as I don't know, spicy, or I always kind of say that they're the meme of the day or whatever, something that's, taking a lot of heat and moving around a lot. So silver is going to be kind of the sister to gold, of course. And using SLV, you can hold this, but it also has options, so you can get some extra leverage on some short-term moves. And you can see it's been moving a lot inside of this range, and that's just like gold is kind of another safe haven for investors. Silver can be used that way too. So I didn't want anyone to kind of forget about the gold's little sister, silver, over here, because this is something that I've been able to make some money on, kind of capturing these moves on silver. You can see that we're kind of coming up into some resistance up here, and then we have the all-time highs up here yet too. So there's definitely some opportunity in silver if you have not been able to get in on the precious metals yet.
You would say that this would be a good opportunity for people to actually get in?
Well, not necessarily right now. It's a chart that we're watching, but I'm not saying to buy and hold SLV right now, because it has options too. So you can buy put options and short this if you see a good opportunity to short. But for interesting chart of the day, I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of SLV, and then it is getting a lot of activity. You can see it had a major drop back here at the beginning of the month, and now it's climbing back up. Yeah. So it's an active ETF that, if you wanted to hold it, you can hold it. I've been enjoying playing the options on it, and it can kind of complement your futures trading a little bit, especially if you're looking at the metals. I like to kind of diversify. I like to have options going and futures going. So it's diversifying, having multiple sources of income.
Barbie, guess what I have in my hand right now?
Is it codes?
No.
No.
Not quite. Boom, look at this. Bar silver.
Nice.
Oh,
You could say
that's a big one too.
You say buy the ETF. I'm stockpiling for Armageddon, okay?
I like that method too, not gonna lie.
Okay, so that's acceptable.
It's fun to play with.
I just can't trade the options on this,
But you can trade the SLV options and hold on to that and have your cake and eat it too.
And when times get tough, going straight to the pawn shop.
There you go.
Car and some cash.
That's all you need.
Awesome. All right, that was my interruption.
That's all right. I like it. Show and tell time.
Thank you. That was amazing. That was so fitting right now. Well, okay. Thank you so much, Barbie, for bringing us to silver. Yeah, that was great. Forrest, we'll take it to you. I know you talked a little bit about it, but talk to us about your most interesting chart of the day.
My most interesting chart of the day is the one I always look at, right? So I do the same thing every single day, guys. I don't poke around the market too much, right? What I actually wanted to show you again was what I was talking about here using the replay tool, right? So slight little divergence from the question you asked me. But what's interesting about this, right? This is the 24-hour chart. We're on the replay here. Is we could guess, like going back in time, right, where the market's going to go on the volume profile by just looking for the biggest nodes. And this is why I keep bringing this up, right? So on the way down, we're looking for this 18,800 level, right? So if we replay forward on the 4-hour, we'll see how this starts to play out, right? It dips into this liquidity down here. There's a bunch of people positioned. And then as we get closer to the current time, we'll replay a little bit further. It comes back up, touches this next liquidity area. And this brings us to our present moment where we're kind of consolidating here inside of this low value near the upside of this low value area, right? So here's where we are right now. I'll do another massive arrow for you folks who have trouble reading charts. So here's where we are inside of these two nodes. So what's interesting about this again is we get some really, really awesome setups at these edges. And then inside of this, you can hear like even a lot of the traders that we've had on, right? There's a little bit more indecision here in the middle, which isn't uncommon, right? So as you start to diddle in the middle, fiddle in the middle, whatever rhyming word you want to use, things get a little weird. And that's where you can start to look across the market for yeah, you can start to look across the market for confluences, right? So, you know, per usual, I always like taking a look at Apple, right? The same few things that I like to take a look at: Apple, Microsoft, okay, Nvidia. I like to look at those equities, right, that drive the indices quite a bit. I will look at other futures contracts like, you know, silver, gold, even, you know, time to time, not necessarily for confluence, but just for trades, right? But really, my day to day, like when I sit down, it's really the same thing. I even eat the same thing every single day, guys. Like I'm a very routine person, probably to an insane level. But yeah, it's just the same few tickers, trying to figure out if I have a really strong read on the day, or if it's a meh day. That's kind of my decision-making process.
Yeah, I feel like our audience is also thinking the same thing right now. But it's still early, we don't know yet. And I wanted to give the chat and open the chat to you guys right now. So if you have any questions that you would like for us or Barbie to answer, please ask it on the chat and I will do my best to read it. Otherwise, we'll probably have Luke in soon and he'll talk to you guys about free resets that we might possibly have today. But of course, we need to go to at least $500, 500 viewers for our first one. Sorry about that. All right.
I'll take the money if you guys want to.
Oh, I don't know
My
what that
Venmo
came from,
is.
but it's okay. My Venmo is.
I don't
You
know.
guys
Maybe
can
something
Venmo.
there.
No, not here. Okay, so do you guys trade crypto? I see a question.
Crypto. Wow, man, that's a whole different conversation. I don't trade crypto. I do invest in crypto, like buying crypto. You know, I'm a tech guy. I'm a software engineer by trade, right? I did the whole thing that most CS majors do. You write your own blockchain, right? So I'm bullish on blockchain tech in general, distributed ledger technology. I like it. I think it's a good buy. But that's like a 10-year thing for me. Made a lot of money in the last bull run in crypto. Anybody in my community has heard me talking about it, right? I have a few special ones that I look at, but I do not trade crypto at all. It's just a long-term thing for me.
Well, I hope that question got answered. I did get another question about news sources. I know, Barbie, you talked about that yesterday, but do you mind sharing it again?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of different places that you can go for news. We spend a lot of money on a news feed, and I don't think that everyone needs to do that because there's so many people on Twitter who are sharing the same news feed. Zero Hedge is one, and then of course Bloomberg. But so I personally subscribe to News Squawk, and it is pricey, and I don't think you need that. You know, there's a lot of noise when you're first getting started, and it's like another thing to pay attention to. So you can keep it simple and watch Twitter, and you can turn alerts on for Twitter so you can watch the news from the most important sources that you're watching. And that's how I started out. I was just had alerts turned on for X. Well, it was Twitter back then, and I was watching those news channels.
Awesome. Thank you, Barbie. I don't think I see anything else. I did get another question. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this or not, but it says, as a professional trader, how does your days look like? I know we've touched on this before, but
Yeah. You want to go first, Barbie? Or I can.
Yeah, I can go ahead and go first. I mean, it's
no.
just well, no, I mean, I think everyone's wanting like something special, but there's not like something really special and magical. I get up like everybody else, and I have to make breakfast for everybody like everybody else. Although I do have to feed horses and stuff. Not everyone's doing that. But what I usually like to do is I focus my time on charting and coming up with my plan, and then I go take care of everybody because that gives me kind of the grounding and the breathing space I need to come back and refocus and get into execution mode because I see it as separate. I have planning and then I have execution. And I don't want to spend all day executing because it's mentally exhausting and taxing and everything. So I'll just do that for a couple hours and then enjoy my day.
I love that. Yeah, balance. Okay, what about you, Forrest?
Yeah, so pretty routine. I like to you know, I actually have what I call like a miracle morning. So I stretch for 15 minutes, I like to go to the gym. I think I mentioned before, I don't hit it 100% of the time, right? I trade 9:30 to 11 a.m. And then I look at 2 p.m., right? 2 p.m., that next 4-hour candle close. So it's a very, very like this the same thing for me. I like to minimize the amount of decisions I have to make because I have a bunch of other stuff going on, right? Like Barbie, I'm also a YouTuber, right? So we spend time, I'm sure she spends time planning out videos, how can I help, my community, and things like that, right? So there's a ton of other stuff that goes on outside of trading, like the actual hours, and then journaling and things like that. But I think in terms of actually improving yourself as a trader, it's the prep and the review time, right? You need to have a dedicated prep time and you need to have dedicated review time. You could do it like me. You could do it how Barbie does it. It doesn't really matter how you do it. I think you just need to do it. And that's like the common denominator for all, profitable traders.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So we need to get to 500 views before 500 views and subscribers before we'll do some free resets. We'll have Luke come in and then we'll give you guys a code. So let's get it going. Share it, subscribe, comment on the chat, and then we'll have some free resets coming. But in the meantime, we will go to the live chart upset of the day. Bull Barbie, can you talk about ES today?
Sure. Yeah, better get to 500 viewers before I finish this so we can get some codes, but we'll see.
Get in there, Barbie. Get in there.
So I'm going to start with the ES daily. I think this really shows. Forrest keeps saying don't diddle in the middle. That's kind of what I'm thinking about too. We're right in the middle of this range right now. So I know everyone wants kind of a bias, and I'm looking at ES, but NASDAQ will probably be a similar story when Forrest gets there too. We're consolidating right now, so we're in a holding pattern, and we're waiting to see. You can see that the candle yesterday on the daily chart for ES, it's in the center of the range. This is the 2 and 3 ATR Keltner channels, so we're really just dead center of those, hanging around the 21 daily EMA. We went above it yesterday. It's clearly resistance. It was sold right back down, and we're right back there right now. So let me show you the levels that I'm watching. When we have mornings like this, it's hard to just say, okay, I've got a bias right now. This is what the market's going to do. So we have to kind of wait for the market to give us the clues of what it wants to do. So what I'm watching is, we're really, when price is just consolidating this hard, it's getting ready for a big move. We don't know when it's going to happen. And like we mentioned earlier in the week, there's not a big news catalyst this week. So it's just, if we get something, it's going to be kind of random. But the levels are going to be the same. No matter what the catalyst is, the levels are going to be the same. So since we didn't move around very much last night, this makes it a little bit easier because we can really just watch the pre-market high. I thought I had this marked. That's why I was just messing around, but I don't see it. So we have the pre-market high right here around the 54.21 level. And I had that 54.24 level. That's been a really important level. So I'm still really watching that. In order for us to get bullish, I need to be over that level. So over that level, I'm looking to retest these highs from yesterday. We had this, we had the level already. This was an old swing level that we tested yesterday. So I'm looking to see if we retest that again. That would be the first thing if we go bullish. Then this is going to have a lot of resistance. You can see we've got trend lines above that. However, if this thing really gets going, and this could be today or another day, it's kind of reiterating what I said yesterday. If we start working over this 85 level, we'll probably start first retesting the 5,500, which is where we reached to yesterday. And then we're going to start looking for this 30 level, the 55.30 up into the 55.50. This is major resistance, but when we get there, this is potentially a short squeeze trigger all the way up to 5,700. So I'm really watching that on the bullish side. On the bearish side, I'm watching this pre-market low. If we break through that, that's at 53.55. I'm going to look, you can see this is that gap that we had the other day. So I would be looking for the highs right before we get to filling that gap, and then that gap fill for those levels. So that's around 53.30 to 40 would be that first target if we break the 53.55 overnight low down to the gap fill, which if I select this box will tell me 53.14.50. If we don't do any of those, then we're in chop. the thing I want to point out is, so I was talking about this high around here, around 21, 54.21, all the way down to 53.55. This would kind of be the chop range. And we might kind of hang around the top of this gap too. That's still a really wide range. So we still could potentially scalp inside of here, but I don't want to scalp in the middle of it. I want to scalp the high when we're at the high or at that pre-market low. So that's kind of the game plan for today. If we're just staying in this is going to be choppy. If we're going to move, we have to get outside of these levels that we've already put in this morning.
I like it.
You looking at something, Forrest, over there? Similar, Forrest?
I am trying to change my chart layout while I had a little reprieve there on the one. So little pro tip, by the way. Anyone curious? I have my iPad right here in front of me. I've got two computers and my iPad.
Your chart is doing much better today.
I'm going to harass the chat too, then, because I think we need like 25 more viewers. That's not very much. I'll get 25 people.
Thank you, Barbie. Yeah, we're almost there, guys. We are almost there.
Do it.
Okay. I actually saw a really good question from the chat, so I'm going to answer it and just honor this question. There's actually two, but one is, how do you know when to stop trading for the day?
When I've made lots of money. No, so like I was just saying, I just gave you some levels that I'm looking at to break and then target. So if that breaks and then I get my target, that's when I'm done. It's mission accomplished. If I get to execute my plan, then I'm done.
Love that. Okay, I have one more question and then we can move on, okay? How do you manage your trades once you're in profit?
Yeah, so trade your thesis is the simple way. Your goal as a trader is going to sound very counterintuitive, right? But this is what I teach, traders, whether I'm coaching them or whatever, is you want to see if your hypothesis is right? So you're like, we're a scientist. You're a risk manager, but you're also a scientist. You basically, right? And you do it all the time. You guys say, hey, I think the market's going to go to XYZ, right? And that should fit within some period of time. Within the next 2 4-hour candles, I think the market's going to do this. Okay, you just want to see if that's right. Like, that's your goal as a trader, and then over time, you want to see how often you're right for given setups, right? You'll start to have very specific parameters around, time of day, setups, etc. Right? You should be able to know like what your hit rate is for, any given, play in your playbook. So when you're in profit, you need to ask yourself some higher order questions, not how much money do I want to make today, not, I don't want to give any of this back. Really, the question you should be asking yourself is, okay, has my thesis changed at all? If my thesis hasn't changed, then you should do nothing, right? So you should just let the trade, go until it either fails or hits your final profit target. Now, there are some like rules of thumb that I have in general. Like I personally, when I hit like 70 or 80% of the expected value of a trade, that's when I'll trail, right? I will leave a stop, right? Say I'll give you something crazy. Say I have a 10-point stop and I'm 200 points in profit. I won't move my stop. I will leave my stop where it was, and that trade can come all the way back. There was actually a trade I shared in my Discord. It was probably 2 weeks ago now, where it was on one of those massive days where I was like 380 points in profit. It came back. I was like 30 points red, and then I ended up like 800 points in profit, right? And that's because I wasn't really looking at the charts, to be honest. I just set my bracket and I was living, my life. But when I actually went, if I was sitting at the chart when that was happening, you would have seen the zigzag. The flip side of that too, guys, is like you will get stopped out. You will lose trades. Like happens to me all the time. Like you will lose some trades, and that's fine. You want to see how that happens and when it happens so you can write it down, understand, and it'll happen less, right? Because trading is essentially poker. So play the good setups and you'll win most of the time.
I think maybe one day we'll do like an episode on how to deal with it emotionally.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. Well, we are literally 10 people away, guys. 10 people away. So I guess we'll wait.
And we're a minute and a half until open.
Wait,
is this a race?
Oh my God,
Are we
we
there?
just hit 5:13. Okay, well,
some
we
delay
need to
there.
bring
Chat wins.
Yeah. Chat wins. You guys win. Okay, we're gonna bring Luke in, and he's gonna give you guys a free reset.
All right. That said, I heard Adona say 513. If I remember correctly, Forrest said 600, not 500.
I said 2,000, but
2,000.
That silver's affecting your memory.
I'm very aspirational.
If it's 2,000, it's 2,000. We can wait. I know a lot of viewers get frustrated when we do the free giveaways because they want us to just stick to the charts and the content and the ideas, and they hate that we waste time doing this.
Really, yeah, it's the free giveaways are really distracting. I don't know if they want that, Luke.
And it takes away from your discipline too. My dad always taught me, you got to work hard for everything you have. Don't look for handouts. So, it's important principle. But all right.
I think we have to do it.
You think we have to do it?
I think it's something we just have to do, Luke.
All right, y'all. Forrest commands it. It shall be done. It is time for our first round of free resets on Thursday. Sorry, it took me a second. We will have more opportunities to win. Let me lay out the ground rules, folks. You must be a subscriber on this YouTube channel in order to be eligible to win. So I will give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're watching on X, you're watching on Instagram, that's lovely. That's all about it. But you must be a subscriber on YouTube in order to be eligible to win. We have a very advanced AI that checks that and does those confirmations. A big batch of you are going to win free resets. Let me preview the rest of the show first. Building a little bit more drama. Right around the corner, we're going to talk the open. We have not had this. We've had this no diddle in the middle, but we're going to talk the open, what it means, how it impacts bias. We're going to ask you, the chat, for your bias, and let's see if we can get any insights from the crowd, any signals from the crowd. And we have a very special guest who will be joining us, a very special guest. So, without further ado, resets code is going on the screen now. Hey, Terri, Heyterri. Hey, Terri. If your name is Terri, you can win 2 free accounts, not just 1. So I'm cautiously optimistic that most of you are named Terri. You're going to have to send a Discord message to this guy named Fabio on the MyFundedFutures Discord in order to confirm that your name is Terri. Again, code Hey Terri is on the screen. 100 of you out there. $10,000 value. We're giving away like $20,000, $30,000 worth of stuff every single show because we love you. And as Adona said, it's more than just a prop firm. Now it's a community.
The chat was trying to zoom into your eyes to steal the code.
Oh.
That's crazy.
All right. Oh, yeah. Can we get a love you back for Adona, Barbie, Forrest, Burke, Marcy, and myself? I did just say I love you for the first time on stream. I mean, that's a pretty big moment. It takes time to build to that point in a relationship. And after
I thought it was obvious.
I'm a romantic. I fall in love fast, Luke. It's a problem. It's a serious problem, actually.
Yeah. Life Lessons with Forrest is back. Cool. Awesome. All right. We're not long, but you know what? Yeah, I don't know. Adona, your choice if we want to cover the open or education first. I can't make up my mind today. Open? All right. She's saying cover the open. All right. Barbie, over to you first. How are we looking? We're 3 minutes off the open. Any interesting candles yet? Maybe
not yet, but
look at the 15-second candles.
Yeah, at least the NASDAQ and the ES are hanging around together today. I like that. And when they're doing the opposite thing, it makes it really hard to find confidence in a trade. So Hopefully, at least they hang together and kind of hold the same pattern, because then we can get some extra power if we do get these breaks that we're looking for.
Okay. Forrest, your turn.
Yeah, so I'm looking here. There's actually I'll just do in queue here. So I want to see if we are going. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and think at the same time. There's this previous POC right here that we just tested. Okay, so you'll hear me use these terms. There's this what was yesterday? Wednesday's point of control was right around 18,893. We just came up and retested it. So I want to see if we're going to come and crack this low and then just seek this swing low here, something like that, right? Or if I can stop using that tool, if we're just going to seek this high right here at the open, sweep this and then come back and do something like this, right? That's what I'm really curious about, because if we crack this high on the higher,
if the market has that much power today,
yeah, it'll be interesting. But if we do crack that high, we're probably going to start traversing this node above us. So whenever you're zoomed in, it's really important to remember the higher time frame context. Obviously, if you have all of your screens in front of you, that's fine. I have screens in front of me that you guys can't see. So you should always have all the time frames up. The time frames that you care about, you should always be looking at. And so there should be higher time frames, in my opinion. Okay. There's this node above us, though. So I want to see if we're going to start to traverse across this shelf, right? This shelf, by the way, right, I call it a shelf, I call it a node. These are people, right? These are people. Everything, the chart is a story of people's decision making, right? Where they got in, where they got out, how many of them got in, and how many of them got out across time and across prices. So I want to see if we're going to break into this auction that's above us. If not, right, if we go back to the 4-hour here, we just retested this small little liquidity. Again, this previous POC above us. We're probably going to come for this swing low right down here. So that's kind of what I'm curious about. I really want to see in the next 25 minutes if this candle gets smashed, right? It's kind of like a strong green candle right here. If it rejects this and gets smashed, it starts to look weak, if we're going to come lower or not. So this next 25 minutes here off the open is going to be interesting. Anytime you test a POC, you should really have your eyes open for what the rest of the candle does, because that's going to kind of give you some intuition about the bias or the narrative for the day, right? So that is what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Forrest, I'm going to ask you to take a look at VIX in a second here. As we've been covering amid these times of elevated volatility, it's getting more boring as time goes on. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. But before that, Barbie, we're at 700 right now. What is the next critical psychological level for your resets?
Well, I have to decide if we're going to make it easy or hard, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got Terri on today, and we should be able to get to 1,000 before she comes on.
Okay.
So that sounds reasonable, right?
Yes, I think so. If you have not liked this stream, if you have not shared this stream, if you have not subscribed to this channel, you are part of the problem. You're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting your fellow chatters out there, especially after we all just said we loved you. I mean, it was this really deep moment. So do not be part of the problem. But all right, Mr. Forrest, over to you on the VIX. If you're ready. Sorry. One moment. All right. I'm going to stall while Forrest is getting that pulled up. There we go. Okay. Yep. Good.
Got me? That just
I thought you were going to sing us a song.
Okay, cool. Wait, actually, I need one more moment. Let me switch. My computer's about to die, and I don't want to.
No.
I know.
All right, fine then.
Well, I've been watching the VIX a little bit too. I've been watching how it keeps kind of inching down. I was watching that 30 level on it. Here, you want me to pull it?
Yeah, could you, Barbie?
Yeah, I got it on the 15. So this is what I've been watching on the VIX. We're lower than we used to be. Like, that's kind of obvious here, right? I don't want to call it a downtrend yet because we're still kind of flat-ish, but we're lower. We're inching kind of lower on the VIX, and obviously well, I talked about this the other day. The VIX is the volatility index, so it's it's measuring the market sentiment. Really, it's the fear index. So fear's creeping down, and if fear's creeping down, hopefully we can get the indexes creeping up. I know Forrest watches it on higher time frame charts, but I'll actually watch it intraday too, because you'll see these big moves line up with the indexes as well. Makes day trading a little bit easier. You ready, Forrest?
I'm not. This thing is, it's like,
all right. No, that's fine. I had another question for Barbie.
All right.
Will you hit Tesla real quick? You talked about it a couple days this week. You talked about it before earnings. You talked about it after earnings. You know, how are things settling out? Is there any action to be had?
It hasn't really moved much. I mean, the options market, there's been opportunities to have scalping this thing because we're getting moves. It's just like on the higher time frame market, it's not. So I'll show you. I haven't scalped Tesla lately, but this was one of the things I used to build my account with originally, just because it gets these really violent moves. So you can trade this in the options market. So I didn't have a level on there this morning. I haven't charted it, but if I was watching some levels down here in the 40s, I would literally be looking for a knife catch on Tesla, and I would be buying some calls or something. Well, not or something. If it was down low, I'd be looking to buy some calls. And the way that I kind of play the options market is with I'll take a lot of risk on the individual contracts, but I won't take as many of them. So like I might be, my stop might be 50, 70, 60%, but then I'm looking for a huge move. The move would be 100%, 200% on some short dated options to kind of pick up a move like this. And then once it's kind of over, then I just hop out. You got to be quick. But what it'll do a lot is it'll peel off the open and then move right back to where it was. So I'll see, like that was yesterday, but it does that a lot. This one didn't make a full retracement. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just excitable. Like when you say short dated options, how short are you talking? You know, we
like that week.
Okay, so weeklies.
Yeah. So I mean, Tesla doesn't have every day, so it would be the Friday expiration. So one of the things that I used to consider when I was trading a small options account is the way the premium works throughout the week on the weekly. So on Monday and Tuesday, this move it might pay $50, where on a Thursday, Friday, it could pay $100, $200. So that's something that I would consider too. I'd be more likely if I was looking for a big move. I would get more from it on a Friday, so I wouldn't have to take as heavy of a position. So the options market can be extra fun when you're playing those weeklies at the end of the week. Okay. I just had to click over this. I saw this thing trying to inch up on me right here.
All right, talk us through it. And I'm gonna call Donna back.
I'm watching this first level because this was kind of the pay attention level. We're coming up to that 24 level on ES. So I'm just watching this one real carefully. My break level is going to be up there at the 54 or 24 because this could real easily kind of be a little fake move. Just the 5 minutes kind of hard. I'm going to go to the 15. It'll be pretty obvious to kind of retest these little swing highs, but you can see how it wicked above and then came right back down. So I'm going to be looking for something to kind of hold up here. And there's a few different ways that you can look at it. A candle with a lot of confidence like this that's smashing through a level like that, that's a good sign. So this is still forming, this candle has, it's only halfway formed. It's got 2.5 minutes left on it. But if that stays up there like that and closes up there like that, that's a bullish candle for that gap level. The problem with this gap level is it's so close to this other level that I have up here. So when I have close levels like that, I kind of treat it as a zone. And the most confidence is going to be on the break of that stronger level up there. Not that the gap level isn't strong, but we've already played it a couple times. So the older it is and the more you've played it, the sloppier it gets and the less precise on where that. So it may not be exactly 54, 15, 50 since we've kind of piddled around with it. And the thinking behind that is we've got real orders here, and the people who are playing this level, we've been getting rid of them. So their orders are filled, they're done. So at a point, you kind of chew through these orders like that, and then it'll start breaking through. But my caution, again, is this kind of range has had a lot of activity, and I'm worried about it being choppy between 15 and 24. But once we get through there, it should be a little bit smoother sailing. There's just the caution on the day that we're kind of prone to chop being in the range that we're in. But I do like how the VIX is still coming down on the day too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing on the chat, I feel like some people are like, they want to do like a live trade. So would you be open or willing to do that?
Well, we had talked about kind of this sort of thing before. You have to be real careful. I don't want to have to get licensing. So I will talk about the trades that I'm taking. I know that the chat always wants like to see my trading platform.
Yeah.
And we're trying to operate in this gray area a little bit. So I'm telling you guys what my trade is. My trade is when we break over 54.24, whether you see it on the screen or not. That's the trade that I'm looking for. I promise.
She's telling you guys, listen and pay attention.
I give y'all the level. Like, tell me who made money on the drop yesterday. I gave y'all the level to watch for the drop yesterday, and it dropped and we got it. So I gave you the plan and the levels.
She's giving you the plan, both of them. But okay, Forrest, we'll go with you next and tell us about NQ futures.
Yeah, so we're still kind of the same setup here. So we are pushing up a little bit higher. And also just on live trading, people ask me that all the time. So if you can go, and on my channel, I used to share everything. I don't like to live trade because it psychologically impacts me. And as much, even though I'm on here live streaming right now and I enjoy entertaining and educating, I trade to make money. So anything that negatively impacts my ability to trade well, I don't do. Shout out, props to all the people that do that. But if you look across YouTube, there are professional money losers that you know, they make their money not from trading, right? So that's a decision you all got to make. I'll let you know right now. If you want to see peel back the curtains, you can join my Discord. We shed a little bit more light in there. But yeah, in terms of what's happening here, we're pushing up, right? So we're doing a little move. We're traversing this node here. Yeah, so the other side, let me actually zoom way into this. Let's just look at this set of candles right here, right? So there's this little lump right here, okay? We traversed it. We want to see if we're going to go for this high. I mentioned this earlier, right? Are we going to come and do this maneuver? And then as we zoom back out, let's get rid of that. Are we going to go for that swing high up there? That's what I'm really curious about. If this line, by the way, right, if we crack this high to come back in, we're going to have what we call like a D-shaped day, D-shaped volume profile. It'll probably come back into here and do something like this, right? So it's just like a normally distributed day. Those days tend to range very well, and you can long the value area low and you can short the value area high pretty confidently. That gives you a nice few, set of scalps inside of a session.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Forrest. I believe that our guest, Terri Trades, she actually talks about NQ futures a lot too. So I'm excited for you guys to have like a deeper discussion about all of it. But in the meantime, we have hit our mark. So we have actually hit 1,000 people watching. I'm going to wait for Luke, and then he's going to give you guys another free reset code. So just hold on tight. And we'll call in Barbie for her educational lesson of the day.
All righty. So you guys know we're mostly trading ES and NASDAQ as futures traders. It's kind of the focus for most of us. And I think we lose sight of what we're trading with a lot. It kind of becomes gamified a little bit, and we're just hitting the plus and minus on the trades. But what is NQ and what is ES? We know it's the futures. We're trading on quarterly contracts. They're going to be the well, not going to be, but prospecting on what the future price of the index is going to be when those contracts close. But I wanted to kind of point out what the notional value of contracts is. So this is where we're getting our leverage. And I think a lot of I didn't even know this when I started trading futures. So this is how you come up with how much the position actually controls. So this is crazy leverage. But so when you're at Trade they're wanting $500 to control one ES and $1,000 to control one NQ, and it's a tenth of that. But so that's kind of what we're thinking. But the real value of what you're controlling in the stock market when you're holding one of these contracts is completely different. So the way that we get the notional value is we take the value of how much one point is, and we multiply it by the value. So on ES, it's $50 per point, and we're trading around 5,400, and this is why the value changes all the time. So 5,400 times $50 is about $270,000. So when you're taking one ES mini, you're controlling $270,000 worth of index futures. So that's where we get our leverage from, and that's also kind of where we get the danger from. On NASDAQ, it's $20 per point, since the points work out a little bit differently on NASDAQ. Since NASDAQ moves more, the point values are worth less. But with NASDAQ trading around $19,000, that's about $380,000. So one NASDAQ contract is controlling $380,000 worth of the index, which is nuts. So I really think that we have to keep that in mind. When hedge funds are placing hedges against their futures holdings positions, they're not basing it on they're certainly not discounting it on the discount margin. They're not basing it on the discount margin that we're looking at, what I was just talking about with the $500 per ES and $1,000 per NASDAQ. And they're not even looking at it like the overnight margin, which, for an ES right now is, I think, around $13,000, $14,000, and NASDAQ it's around $20,000. That's what you need to hold that overnight. So that still looks like a really good deal when you're talking about the notional value. But the hedge funds, when they are hedging against these positions, they're hedging against the notional value, since that's what the stock market actually controls. So when we're thinking about this and we want to day trade something like Apple and we're wanting it to make a 10-cent move, and it doesn't make sense how us lowly day traders can make money trading something like that. And then we switch over to futures, and that same amount of money, if we had bought $500 worth of Apple, we would have gotten 2 shares and 10 cents. We made 20 cents. Our commissions are going to make us red on that trade. But in futures, $500 can get you a lot more. So that's where that leverage comes from. And I think you have to keep that in perspective when you're saying, I'm only going to trade minis. Micros are for babies. They're not. So if the ES is $270,000, one micro is $27,000. So even if you're just trading one MES, you're still controlling $27,000. So keep that in perspective when you're leveraging a little hot. I have to get back to this chart because I'm watching this level here too. Because I told y'all what I was going to do. So don't say I didn't give you trades.
No, I think they know. They know that they're here for learning.
They want it just on. Why don't I just trade your account for you too? They want it on the screen. That easy. But we have the plan. You just got to trade the plan.
Yeah, and also, guys, don't forget to follow Bull Barbie and Trading with Forrest. Do you guys want to give your accounts so people can find you?
Yeah, so I'm mostly on YouTube. If you search for Bull Barbie, it'll come up, but it's Bull Barbie Trading. And then I post a little bit on Instagram, and it's bull.barbie because somebody stole my screen name there. What about you, Forrest?
Yep, you can find me on YouTube, Trading with Forrest. You can find me on Instagram, Forrest the Investor. If you want to hang out with my community, go to my YouTube channel. It's called Trade Edge because we trade the volume profile edges. You check that out. Also spent a lot of time last year making a volume profile low course. If you want to check that out as well. If not, everything's for free on my channel. That's it.
A course sounds great. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna welcome Luke in, and he's gonna give you guys a reset code.
Hello, everyone. The Reset Man is back with some quotes for you all. Barbie called it. She said at 1,000 live viewers on the YouTube specifically, we are going to have another round of giveaways on this show today. Barbie, we are giving away $30,000 worth of stuff.
That's crazy.
That crazy?
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
If we did that every day for the next decade, it'd be almost $1 billion. I think I totally made that up, but it might be around there.
That's some good math there.
Thanks. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you for believing in us. We believe in you. Again, we created this show to do a lot for the community. You know, we think we've really built our firm to be the trustworthy, the transparent, the straightforward, the prop firm that's designed for traders and for you all. And this is an extension of what we're building, where we want to come to you with the ideas, with charts, with the education, etc. And as a thank you for being along with us on this journey, we have these giveaways. You need to be a subscriber on the YouTube channel, okay, on the YouTube channel specifically, in order to be eligible to win. So if you have not hit subscribe on YouTube, that just means you do not like free money, free things, free giveaways. So make sure you go and you hit that subscribe button and you join and you follow along with us. This next giveaway comes ahead of a very special guest that we're going to have joining us in a few minutes. 100 of you out there, 100, it's not 10, 100 of you out there are going to be winning a very, very, very special free reset. We might have accounts down the road. We might have more resets down the road. I don't know. You'll have to stay tuned. So everybody, fingers ready. You got to be quick. The first 100 of you are winning. Code is going on the screen now. GCQ1. Code is on the screen. GCQ1. Type it in, get your reset, and then lock back in. We got another 30 minutes to go. Another 35 minutes of education, of content. So stay tuned. Be ready. Again, code is on the screen, GCQ1. Forrest, I've got a very, 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 very important question for you. Just kidding. That was a joke because he's not there. I made you laugh. That's good. Remember yesterday I said, if you don't make someone smile every day, your day was wasted? I really believe that. And now my day's not wasted. So thank you, Barbie. All right, Barbie, we're at 1,300 viewers right now before our very special guest comes in. What should be the next key level? The point.
I don't know. What does chat think it should be? See if chat will help me out, because I think we can do pretty good with Terri on here.
Oh my gosh, Tinku is back. We might need the
That's what I was thinking. The chat's reading my mind. 1,500 is where I was.
1,500?
Are you going to be mean and make him wait more than that?
I'm waiting to see what Tinku says. Oh, we got Tinku, 2,000.
Oh, no.
We missed him. Key psychological Tinku level. Major line of resistance, 2,000. Maybe we'll do another $10,000.
Who else is printing on the trade that I didn't share?
All right. Can we see the chart, please? Please. Can we see your chart?
It's going.
Whew, it's running. All right.
And they say we don't give them trades.
But go back with us a little bit. So like what was the level you were looking at and why were you looking at that level?
I've been looking at this 54 level all week. It's kind of been a magnetic level that I was watching. And kind of my hint was getting back through this old gap that we had from earlier in the week. And I'm going to show you a little thing too. My Discord was going off about this one because this is a trade that we've been working on. This lined up really well this is our opening range for the day. The 15-minute opening range. I'm going to put my normal box on there so you can see it. So the level that I was watching that I posted to the Discord even before we came on here, the 54.24 level lined up perfectly with the 15-minute opening range breakout. So my Discord's in on that one too. So we had confluence between a level that I was watching. We got the kind of like what am I saying? The warning that it was going to happen here, breaking this gap level, and then it really went for that level. We got a magic level right there. It might kind of slow down at that magic level, but there's just a lot of space up here because we traveled down through it so quickly. We traveled down through these levels really quickly to get where we are, and so now there's room for it to travel back up really quickly there too.
Barbie, we've got a couple people who care about Dow futures.
Okay.
Neither you or Forrest do. Why is that?
Well, it's not that I don't care. It's that I'm busy trading ES and NASDAQ. So I'm always watching it. It is my third most watched index.
Okay, but why, I guess, do you choose? And I think most people choose ES and NQ.
It's more fun. It's more spicy. I think so. Not everyone, but the people who trade NASDAQ think that I'm boring because I trade ES. It's because it makes these ginormous moves. And it's this color is not good for streaming, I don't think. But the purple down here is the Dow. You can see it's lagging this morning too. It's just not being as exciting. So I want the action. And there's more liquidity on ES than anything else too, which is why it's kind of my baby.
Yeah, I mean, you can trade anything, folks. Like, I trade ES and NQ again because they're liquid. When I started trading options, by the way, I traded a lot of things that were very illiquid. Like every strike is almost its own little market, right? So if you dabble in options at all, you'll experience this. The spreads can be wide, right? So you have to watch, like if you're watching the bid or ask and all these things. So it's just nice to trade things that are very liquid. Obviously, the Dow is very liquid as well. I just don't trade it. I literally don't have a reason to not look at the Dow other than I haven't, and I probably won't. But, you know, it's all the concepts and everything will apply just the same. I just don't look at it. So maybe one day. We'll see. Probably not.
Awesome. All right. I would like to welcome Idona back in because I think she has a very special guest for us.
Thank you, Luke. Yes, the time has come, and we have a very special guest for you guys today. We have Terri Trades joining us. So we'll be asking her questions. She will share her chart. And if you guys have any questions for her, also ask them on the chat. Welcome, Terri.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome.
Good morning. Wow.
We're outnumbering you again, Forrest.
What a rally we're having.
No. How's it going? How are you doing today?
It's good. It's going. This was unexpected, this open. It's so strong.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know. Barbie's
I'm not complaining.
So, Terri, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been trading? I know you normally trade mostly NX futures, so maybe tell us a little bit about your process too.
Yeah, so I took my very first trade ever. It was in stock in 2016. At the time, Oprah Winfrey, I don't know if you guys know who she is, but first self-made billionaire, she bought a 10% stake in Weight Watchers. So I was like, well, maybe I should buy some Weight Watchers, and it worked.
Wow.
And so I got hooked, right? Like right away. So I've been trading off and on since 2016 and got into futures shortly after 2016, learned about options. And then there were periods where I wasn't trading. And then I just got back into trading props last year. So I've been trading props for the last full year. I just love it. It's the best. And trading futures, it's nice to be able to trade just one thing. For me, I trade NQ. And I trade a few different strategies. I love to trade breakout trades. The 5-minute orb in the morning, I like to trade like this. What we're seeing right now, it's so strong. So like maybe if we get a good pullback, I'll jump in for a long.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, so actually Forrest is he loves NX too. So I was telling him he's going to be excited to discuss with you. But do you mind just sharing your screen with us a little bit and kind of
Yeah.
us
Let's see. I don't know.
Forrest, if you have
I don't
Forrest,
know
if you have
if I
any
have that
questions for Terri.
option.
Sure, I always have questions.
Yeah.
I think you can hold on, let's ask. Well, click present or invite.
Oh, okay. Share
Mhm.
screen.
Yes.
Screen sharing. Okay. Share screen. Can you guys see my screen?
I can see it.
Awesome. So this is a new Starter Plus account that I just activated this morning. So this is an eval. So this is what I'm looking at. I love to look at the open. So this is the 8:30 candle. So when I see this, the first like 30 minutes, and it didn't even break below the first the low in this first 5-minute candle. To me, this is setting up for a super strong trend day. Will it happen? We don't know, right? Like it's a probability thing. No one knows the future, even if we think we know. So
even if you're trading futures.
Yeah, I wish I knew exactly. But yeah, so when we get a pullback, I want to jump in and just let it run. Risk reward, I don't do anything less than 1-to-1 typically. And yeah, so it just kind of depends what's happening. News can break anytime and just change the entire story, right? So I just kind of watch the chart, have an idea. Like, so my bias right now is to take a long on a good pullback. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get a good trade in.
Hopefully, that sounds amazing. So, okay, let's say per se something happens in the news, something big. Would you go ahead and just like cancel it, or what would you do if something unexpected happens?
Yeah, exactly. That's happened to me so many times. Like if you trade futures, it's happened to you where news will break and then it goes the opposite direction. Yeah, just get out as quickly as possible. Yeah, and like I trade with stop losses now all the time. After learning my lesson so many times. Yeah, like a few months ago, I was trading around, it was like midnight Central Time, and the market barely moves around that time usually. Like, I mean, lately it has been, but a few months ago it really wasn't. And I was in like a bunch of funded accounts, like I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, and I didn't have a stop loss in, and I lost them all like instantly.
Oh my God!
I could even blink. It was like
through your emotional, psychological state at that point in time. What was your first thought? What were you thinking?
I was like, oh my God, just like deer in headlights, because it happened so fast, right? And has that happened before? Yes. Am I, does it take me a few times to learn? Yes. and thankfully that was like, yeah, that was the last time. Since then, I never trade without a stop. Even if it's just a protective stop, just in case, because one tweet and it can completely change, right? So yeah, if you're not trading with stops, I would.
There's nothing like a little trading trauma to set you straight, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I saw a comment in the chat and it says that ES, it's more forgiving. What would you guys say on that?
I wonder how they mean, but so I think they mean if you're wrong on NASDAQ, you're wrong harder. But you're right harder too.
Yeah.
I tend to think of the analogy I use is ES is the dog and NQ is the tail. So they do the same movements, but yeah, NQ is it's a little more volatile, like literally volatile.
It's one of those dogs that wags their whole butt when they wag.
Yeah. Yes, will still stroke you just the same though if you're wrong. So don't take that as, you know, every day. And they diverge and things like that, right? But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, do you use a journal, Terri, or how do you strategize?
Yeah.
Or how do you keep yourself? Yeah.
So I don't journal, you guys.
Very,
Me neither.
I know I should.
I was on the way here to my car. Like, she journals twice a day.
I have 2 journals on my desk, so right now.
That's amazing. No, I'm like a free spirit. I love like just to kind of go with the flow. And so it's really hard for me to do certain things that, you know, people are like, okay, you should journal after every single trade. You should follow an exact plan. Yeah, I'm just more of a free spirit, which I know trading futures and there's like a fine line.
There are people on the other side of the there's people on the other side of the spectrum that are full systematic and will not push a button if it doesn't have X, Y, Z.
Yes. Yeah, this is true. I have been playing around more with trading systematically just to help take off stress because it can be really stressful trading discretionary.
You have to. Here's why I think you should journal. If I asked you, I said, "Hey Terri, how did you do a month ago, and why did you do those trades?" Right.
I would say I don't remember, Forrest.
She's saying it's all good. It's all good. I did good.
He said that's exactly.
I think flow trading is awesome. I mean, you don't change that about yourself. I think you could flow better. You know, like Eminem levels of flowing, just straight off, just constant flow. But you got to write. You know, Eminem was in the lab. He was writing. You got to be like Eminem. I don't know if you know who Eminem is. Maybe I'm old, but you know.
Oh yeah,
of course we know.
We know. So you guys, I just want to show you kind of what I'm looking at. So this is the hourly chart. This is yesterday's high of day. This was the low of day. We basically tested the low and we traded all the way up. So now I'm thinking this could possibly be a rejection. So I'm going to look at the 5-minute. So it's trading below this candle. So this is the very first candle to trade below the previous 5. So I'm actually going to jump in here with 3 micros and let's see what happens.
You know, we were talking about the difference between NASDAQ and ES. Someone said ES is the one you bring home to mom. But you know what I'm noticing is on ES, we haven't had that same strong move. ES is not yet at those same highs. We got a little bit of a divergence this morning.
We'll probably keep until ES hits that same swing high as well. So whenever there's divergence, I look for them to resync, basically. And there is like an opportunity sometimes, like in that delta, like if you to rephrase that, like NQ is going for a high, ES is going for the same high, ES is lagging. So you can expect NQ to kind of do a little retracement and keep pushing until ES, you know, finalizes.
The way I think about it, NQ's got to go back and pick up ES, little stubborn sister is lagging behind, got to drag her on with us. Or the little sister can say, but there's ice cream back there. And then they end up going back the other way. I like it when they go together.
Yeah. So we're needing to confirm something if we can show something live. So that's going to take a minute, but I don't know. Do you guys have any questions for Terri? Anyone in the chat?
Yeah, any questions? Ask away.
Terri, do you just, I know you said you focus on NASDAQ. Do you just trade the futures or do you trade like QQQ options also?
Yes, that's a great question. I've been testing this strategy. I do trade options. I've been testing this option spread strategy. Selling out of the money option spreads. It's been fun to test it, right? Like I'm forward testing it. But otherwise, I'm not trading a live account right now. It's just 100% trading props.
Cool. And what's your favorite prop firm?
My favorite? My funded futures. No.
Pass the test, ladies and gentlemen. Pass the test.
I have my like favorites, right? You can't pick a favorite child. You just can't. I love them all. I love them all.
People suck. Of course, you're gonna have a favorite kid. I'm kidding, guys.
But I think once you get more time with them, then you will.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, all the kids are great. How long have you been trading again?
Since 2016, like, you know, off and on, not the whole time, but yeah,
cool.
since 2016.
What's your goal? Let's say,
said,
Terri, fast forward 10 years, right? It's Sunday morning, you wake up, you're the trader you've always wanted to be, right? What does your life look like at that point in time? What are you trading? How much money are you making every year? What have you bought? Where do you live? What does your life look like?
10 years from now. Wow. I will be very happy, content. You know, I think happiness is fleeting, but like lots of moments of happiness and contentment, at peace. And trading wise, in 10 years from now, I really hope I'm making $1 million a year. Like, I mean,
oh my God.
Let's go.
Yeah, right. The thing about trading that I love is it's scalable. And like once you can figure out a consistent, profitable like system, you just scale.
You just get on the rocket ship and see how far up it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exciting. Thanks for asking that question. What about you guys in 10 years from now?
For me, actually, you go first, Barbie.
You know, I'm so focused on like 5 years right now because that's kind of where my family is focused right now. So I haven't even really given a ton of thought to 10. But I've always really just wanted to have that peace that comes with financial freedom and knowing that everything and everybody that you care about is taken care of. So that's always my goal. I don't just trade for myself. And I think that's part of what's given me caution. As everyone blames it on me being female, but I have all these people to take care of. And I think that that's where that comes from. So I just want to be able to take care of everybody and set everybody up. And I want to be in that place where not just myself, but my family too can just feel like everything's taken care of.
No, it's huge. I mean, one of the first things you can buy with money is financial freedom, right? Security, and for yourself and for your family. I think that's massive, right? So the reason I love asking these types of questions. I'm hugely about goal setting. So for myself, there's this business I'm sitting in here. I invested in this. I run operations here. So I want this to be, you know, $100 million media company. I'll also be trading. I invest in real estate and stuff like that. So, you know, my goal is just to continue to grow my enterprise, touch as many souls as I can, help as many people as I can, and have a few more nice cars.
That's good. I actually do have one question before we say bye, but did you have to kind of fall in love with the process of trading, or was that a more immediate kind of thing for you?
It was an immediate thing for me. I think the analytical part of trading, I absolutely love that. And strategizing, I love. It feels like a treasure hunt sometimes, and it can feel really rewarding, like when you execute well, right? Like, so yeah, I love the process, and it really is a journey. If anyone's listening and you're just getting started, you have to fall in love with the journey, because it's really hard, like, to become a really good trader and to make money at this game. Yeah, the more you can fall in love with the journey and the process of improving, right? Like, we just want to get better and better every day, just a little bit. So yeah, thanks for asking that question. That was a good question.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for answering it in such an inspirational way for everyone listening. I have one more question, actually. How do you deal with overtrading?
That is like something that I see so many traders struggle with, including myself, to be honest, right?
Yes.
So when I go on tilt, it's because I'm overtrading. Like, if I'm trading through the whole day, it's not good. It's never good. So limiting the hours of trading helps a ton. I like to be done by trading like 10:30, 11 a.m. Central Time. And then sometimes I'll come back and trade power hour, like, take 1 or 2 trades. And then also I've been playing more with like systematic trading, which has been really helpful. So taking 1 trade in 1 account, that's it. Like same system every day. So that helps too.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Terri, it was so much fun to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks
Such
for
a
having me.
pleasure. Yes,
Thanks
of
for having
course.
me.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Ciao, Bella. Okay, guys. Actually, we can either do final thoughts or you guys can answer that same question. I don't think I've ever asked you guys if you kind of fell in love right away with trading, or was it a process?
I have a sickness. I'm ill because I could do this probably forever. No, I think I didn't have to fall in love with the process. I think, I always dedicate myself fully to whatever I'm committed to, whatever it is. So I've had that. I was a runner in college, right? I always attribute like all of my work ethic to that, right? So I ran D1 track. I was a sprinter hurdler. I learned a lot about working hard and what you get from that there, blah, blah, blah. So to me, it just made sense, right? I just applied the principles I've always lived by and was like, all right, I want to be successful. This thing is hard. What do I need to do to be successful? Because I hate losing and I like winning. So it's really just what it comes down to. I think everybody, when you start trading, you're going to have a bunch of reasons, excuses, and a lot of them are going to be valid, right? XYZ, it's going to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your life sucks, but you got to figure it out, get over it, because nobody's going to help you. So you just got to do what you got to do to achieve what you want to achieve. And yeah, for me, it was just being psycho about journaling, right? I just went absolutely psycho with it. And that's what I do to this day. I find it very useful, and I'll say it every day I'm on stream here. I think it's that important.
Well, for me, I've always been interested in finance, but I was always really discouraged about going into it. Family members and everybody else telling you, "Oh, you're just going to lose you're going to lose all your money. You're going to lose everything. It's going to be terrible. You're going to be miserable." And I kind of bought into all of that. But at a point, there was this moment where I was burnt out with my other career, and I just needed a minute to explore something else. And it kind of came back. And so I kind of started looking into it. And the thing that I ended up really loving that I didn't know that I would is the challenge. I've always loved challenges and puzzles and solving puzzles. So that's kind of my approach to the market, is I see every day as a puzzle to solve. And I want to be right a lot more than I'm not. And there's a lot of things that you learn to love about it, but you have to there's a lot of introspection and a lot of inner work that's unexpected in it. And I don't know that I have a love-hate with that, because as you're going through it, that stuff is tough. You have to learn to be wrong. We all have some level of being stubborn. I'm very stubborn. And I had to learn that being wrong is actually part of the process. And sometimes I can be right by admitting I'm wrong. And so there's a lot of stuff like that. Those are hard lessons. And so that part's kind of hard. But then at the end of the day, when it actually pays off and you actually get those withdrawals to your bank account, it's kind of hard to hate that. And I love that there is no ceiling in that we can literally just get aboard the rocket ship and hold on once we get everything lined up. But there are a lot of struggles to go through. So, it's
and I think that's why you have to love it, right? It's like you have to love something about it to go through all of that. So, yeah.
Doing this doesn't make me want to go work for anybody else. That's for sure.
Yes. That's the best thing. All right, guys. Well, we have one more reset for all of you, and we're going to bring Luke in, and he's going to give you guys the reset code. So be ready.
All right. I am back. We had a wonderful show today. We talked ES, we talked NQ, we talked silver. We pulled out a silver bar.
Yeah, I like that.
We had a breakout. I mean, it doesn't get much.
It's still going too. It's still going.
All right.
Well, in the chat saying that we don't share any trades. Hello, everybody who was paying attention should be in green today, and they should be in the green hard.
Pay attention, guys.
All right. No comment on that one. But I do have some free resets for you all. Okay. I know everybody's saying free accounts, free accounts, free accounts. And then you know what I did yesterday? I gave away free accounts. And everybody said, no, we didn't want that account. We wanted a different account. So you are on free account suspension. Suspension may be lifted tomorrow. It's a little tease, a little hint there. But I've got another 100 free resets for 100 of you to be winners. Again, you need to be subscribed to this channel to be eligible to win. So if you have not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you've not yet hit the like button, hit the like button, please. Okay?
Do it.
Crystal clear rules. After these free resets, I'm going to bring Adona back. I'm guessing she's going to ask Barbie for some final thoughts on this run that we're having right now. And she's going to tell you when to tune back in to us tomorrow. So there might be more free resets then as well. But all right, folks, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you liked the stream. Code is coming on the screen and stream now. Luke top 1. Best code that we've had so far, LUKETOP1. LUKE, that's me, aka Mr. Reset Man. Here to jazz you up as you go into your trading day. Again, code Luke top 1 is on the screen. 100 of you out there are going to win your free resets. I am wishing everyone the best of luck. And I'm going to bring Adona back in for you.
Amazing. I'm sure everyone's busy right now trying to get the code. No one's paying attention.
Gotta be fast.
Yeah. Okay, well, you guys, actually, instead of final thoughts, I just wanted like maybe a word of encouragement or a golden nugget of advice for all of our traders. Something that you would guys like to leave them with.
I'll say two things. First and foremost, shout out to Barbie. Super blessed to be on the show with you. You're a great co-host. Two, a little nugget for you traders. Take it slow, guys. Slow is fast. That's all I got.
That's great.
I'm a little distracted by this trade because it is still working out. So at this point, I'm just kind of trailing this little runner. So taking a lot of profit off of it.
Can we take a look at your screen, please, Barbie?
Yeah. So here it is. This was the breakdown here. So I did take profits up here coming into this 50 level. I always operate under don't be a dick for a tick. So if I'm watching 50, I take profit before it.
Don't be a what?
So don't be a dick for a tick.
I'd never heard that in my life. Okay.
That one's seared into my memory. I've heard it from a few people and it stuck. Yeah. So yeah, so I booked, and you can even see like right before that 50, it ticked like just below it too. So that's why I maintain that philosophy on my take profits. But yeah, we're still just going. So my main target up here is this 86. But what happens is when we've got a massive, 60-point target, I'm not going to put everything into one basket on that run. So I go ahead and take profits on the way up there too. But so this was kind of my main idea. I came up with 3 ideas. I had the bull setup, the bear setup, and the neutral setup. And since we're on the bull setup, that's what we're doing. So once this is booked, I'm done. I can go move on with my day. And so I think that's another way to look at it too, is a lot of people will ask me, well, why don't you stay and go find another one? I don't know if there's going to be another one. I found this one in my plan, and this is the one that's happening. So I trade my plan, and this was my plan. I can scratch my whole plan for the bearish move probably at this point. But other than that, that's kind of how I approach the day. So there's my golden nugget. Plan the plan, trade the plan, live your life.
I like it.
Awesome. And that level you said was 86 target.
Yeah, 54, 86, 25. We had a swing low down there is basically what I'm targeting. But again, I'm not going to actually put any orders at 84 or 54, 86 and a quarter because first of all, that is a month-old level. So it's going to be a little bit sloppier and looser, and I'm not going to be a dick for a tick. So
Don't do it.
Chat is unhinged. You guys are.
They are wild tonight.
Yeah.
The haters came out there a little bit, but you know, it happens.
We need the haters. They're a good part of our community. What would we be without our
I've always got my hater blocker. The aluminum foil hat.
You guys show up every day and do your job. You're committed to the task. I love to see it.
I feel
your head is
I feel like I need to have something too.
Wait.
All right. Well, I think
you could always go for a stress banana. Stress banana also recommended.
Yeah. Can I do a shameless plug?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. We gave out today $30,000 worth of prizes. We gave out free education, free content on a significant number of takers. We got a cowboy hat on. We got glasses upside down. I combed my hair this morning. I'm putting a link in the chat with the coupon code for $82 starter accounts. Special deal, $82 starter accounts. This is the most demanded sale and promotion that we get from you all. So the link is there in the chat. It helps us out if you go ahead and you buy. If you've never been with us, please give it a go. It's a great chance. And if you have been with us, keep going.
Keep going. Keep moving forward. All right. Well, I guess we've come to the end, right? We'll be back here tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place. So come and join us. Okay, I'll do my closing. We've come to the end of today's market journey. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, or just building your playbook, remember, knowledge is your most valuable asset. Until next time, my name is Adona, and this is My Funded Futures. Trade smart, live out well.
Bye, y'all.